Daniel Jones, 23, 34, 212 and a touch. He's now 4-0 in his career against the football team. And 1-16 versus other teams. His other one was against the Bucks. You know, if we do draft someone else, maybe we should hold on to DJ just to beat the Washington football team. Dan Salomone, this is a Giants.com writer. He passed along the best passer rating on attempts with 21 or more air yards. So that means the ball is in the air for 21 or more yards. Number 5, Green Bay with a 129.7 rating. Arizona with a 131.1. So Green Bay 129.7, 6 touchdowns. Arizona 131.1, 5 touchdowns. Las Vegas 135.4 QB rating, 5 touchdowns. So that's Rodgers, Murray, and Carr. Rodgers considered elite. Murray considered possible MVP candidate, maybe. Derek Carr is severely underrated, I think. And then number 2, the New York Football Giants, 137.4, 5 touchdowns. Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is throwing the ball deep, more accurately, with more efficiency and more touchdowns than Derek Carr, Kyler Murray, and Aaron Rodgers. And he's a mere, he's 11 points behind Drew Brees, who has 3 touchdowns and a 149.3 rating, which is a little bit of it's. I don't watch many Saints games, but all I've heard all year is how Drew Brees can't throw the deep ball, and it seems like, well, he's doing all right. The NFL average passer rating for attempts 21 or more in the air is 102.3, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So yeah, we've said it multiple times. The Giants need to throw the ball deeper because when they do, it's efficient and it works. And Jones is capable of pulling those passes off. But at the same time, is he going to get the protection? The beauty of our success against Washington, at least in the first half, was his ability to make a quick decision and get the ball out of his hands quickly. Now, can you do that on deep passes of 21 or more? No, but if you continue to hit real quick and fast, no huddle on these open passes in the 5 to 10 yard range, then you have the defense creeping up to take it away, and then you can play action, get some time, and then unleash the beast down the field more often. So that's kind of how I see things playing out. Wayne Gallman, another great game, 14 carries, 68 yards and a touch. He almost averaged 5 yards a carry. He now has 1 or more rushing touchdowns in 3 consecutive games. He had 3 rushing touchdowns in his first 43 games combined. This has been a coming out season for Wayne Gallman, and you're in a bit of a pickle now, because this was the season to trade him. The trade deadline is come and gone. And it was, I think if he had put up these numbers prior to the trade deadline, you might have seen more of a push to maybe offer him up and dangle him. Not too sure. You know, Judge wasn't specific about which players he fielded calls on. I'm sure Evan Engram was one of them. I'm sure Jabril Peppers was another one of them. Maybe Zeitler. I wouldn't be surprised if Gallman was in that mix, because the only thing holding back Gallman was fumbles, in my opinion. I don't know why he fell out of favor with Shermer, but he did not. His touches severely decreased under Shermer, and I think McAdoo, he was a big part of the offense with McAdoo in his rookie year, but again, fumbles killed him. Catching the ball out of the backfield killed him. But when you see him run with the ball, carries that look like they should be 2 yards, maybe they're 2 yards or 3 yards with Devontae Freeman carrying the rock, or Alfred Morris, he gets 4 or 5 yards. He just gets the extra yard or 2 every single time. We mentioned Alfred Morris. Sterling Shepard got a nice carry for 18 yards. I enjoy seeing a receiver or a tight end. I know I make fun of it, but I enjoy seeing it if it's executed correctly. You know, that one carry for 18 yards. I mean, it was one hell of a fucking play design. I mean, it looked like they had motion coming left from one receiver. Maybe it was Engram. Shotgun formation with Gallman to the right. They fake to Gallman, they fake the end around to the other receiver, and then they pitch it forward or they hand it off to, they could have called it a pass. It looks like it might have been a toss forward, but they hand it to Shepard, and he's gets a big gain down the field. So Daniel Jones, though, trying to run the ball has been shut down the past couple of weeks. 6 carries, 4 yards. So I think teams are starting to key on that, which, hey, if it opens up other areas of the offense and people are keying on him and not paying attention to the running back or to the possible pass option, and we're winning, I'm fine with that stat line. Austin Mack, undrafted free agent, had a big game. 4 catches, 72 yards on 5 targets. Justin Pennick said that Austin Mack's average separation against Washington was one of the best pass defenses in the NFL. It was 3.74 yards. And Golden Tate has never gotten that much separation. A little bit of an exaggeration. He like said in life, high school, and Pop Warner included. But yeah, I don't think if he has, it's been a dog's age. It's been a while. Evan Engram, yet again, 10 targets, 5 catches. There's something not clicking there. Kind of similar with Darius Slayton. A lot of targets, not a lot of catches. Evan Engram's 16-yard touchdown in the second quarter was his second receiving touchdown in his last 14 games. He is now starting to emerge as a red zone threat and a target, which is fantastic. This is exactly what we need him to do. And he had a couple drops. He had one drop that probably should have been an interception. I think it was in the first half. It would have been a huge momentum shift where he bobbled it, went off his hands, went up in the air, and then it almost looked like John Bostic managed to pick it off. But then after further review, they saw it hit the ground, so that could have been disastrous. And then he had a big drop in the fourth quarter, second half, I think. That would have been like a 15, 18-yard grab, first down, and it probably would have put the game out of hand because you're looking at a field goal or possibly even a touchdown. Sterling Shepard, 8 targets, 6 catches. I mean, that's the difference between Evan Engram, Darius Slayton, and Sterling Shepard. You target Sterling Shepard, he's going to catch the ball. I mean, his catch percentage is through the roof. So welcome back, Sterling Shepard. I know he didn't score a touchdown. It's not a lot of yards, but it's just nice to see a guy holding onto the ball when you throw it to him. And, so I'm very happy to have him back. I really hope he's able to still stay healthy from now on. But you do need to look at the wide receiver position going into the offseason as a major need area. Darius Slayton, 1 target, 1 catch, 8 yards. And I think he's just hurt. I think there's some kind of lingering injury that's going on. Maybe teams are more shifting coverage to him. I don't know how you do that without having Evan Engram and Sterling Shepard being more open and getting more catches, but maybe seeing more doubles, more triples, maybe, I don't know. But that's very unusual for only 1 target and only 1 catch for 6 yards. So it's either an injury or maybe it's schemes. But this is what people are talking about when we talk about a number 1 receiver. Some games he looks like the number 1 and he's putting up monster numbers. Some games he looks like a number 4, number 5 receiver. It's like he just straight up disappears. And you can't have a number 1 disappear like that. Maybe once a season, but not multiple times a season. And this isn't helping things either. The Giants have a 6.9% drop rate, which is the highest in the NFL. That's from Pro Football Focus. So as much as we want to put the blame and onus on Daniel Jones, his receivers are not helping him out. And I think Evan Engram you look at 10 targets, 5 catches. He had 2 drops, maybe 3 drops. So, that's going to be what is going to be huge in making a decision when it comes to Evan Engram in the future. Do you think he can get over this roadblock, this obstacle of just dropping the pigskin? Do you think that he can actually work on that and get better at it? Or do you think this is what he is? He's a guy that when he catches it can make plays but he doesn't. He has crucial drops that sometimes lead to interceptions. Defensively, Logan Ryan had himself a day, dribbled peppers, as we said. Isaac Yiadom had half a sack, but someone, I don't forget who it was that tweeted it out, said that he gave up like a perfect passer rating, like a 158.3 in this game against the combination of Kyle Allen and Alex Smith, which, they're no 2000 Steve Young. Is it 2000 Steve Young? 94 Steve. Darnay Holmes had a pretty solid game. Blake Martinez, 10 total tackles, 7 assists, only 3 solos. Leonard Williams obviously got a big sack. Dexter Lawrence with a tackle for loss. Tomlinson split the sack with Yiadom, but only 1 assist. So it looks like Dexter Lawrence and Dalvin Tomlinson were mostly held in check, but you have to, and this is what I've come to realize, is that you see the stat lines and you're like, wow, they're not doing shit. But then you got to think they're kind of like the offensive line for the linebackers. So if they're taking up 2-3 bodies per guy, that's opening up lanes for the purposes of Blake Martinez and I guess Devontae Downs and David Mayo. Fackrell and Sheard. Yet again, Fackrell, not a huge game. David Mayo, not a huge game. Fackrell's the one who got beat in coverage on that first Washington play that resulted in a fumble and a big gain. But it was mostly our secondary coming up big, and then of course Blake Martinez. Alex Smith, 24, 32, 325, 120, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. Blake Martinez also had a pick. I forgot about that. That ended a drive towards the first half, the end of the first half, which, that's been a bugaboo for us. this whole season is giving up points at the end of the half and end of the game, and we managed to make stands on both those occasions in this game. Now, can we do that moving forward? Allen was 5 of 7 for 62 yards, no touches, no touchdowns, no interceptions. I feel really bad for him because that was a bullshit move by Jabril Peppers. I love Jabril Peppers, but like to leg whip like that, I mean, how in the world do you think you're going to get away with that? But I guess heated passion in the moment, you're not thinking about it. You just want to stop the runner. But yeah, that was just it was a low blow. And I think he did go and apologize, or at least tried to apologize to Kyle Allen. But, they had a close-up of Allen's face when he's on the cart, and he's like, you motherfucker, cool, you. Not happy. And he shouldn't be, because it's just unnecessary. So that sucks. Gibson, 6 carries, 20 yards and a touch. J.D. McKissick, 3 carries and 17 yards. Yeah, they just didn't feel the need to run the ball, especially with our secondary giving up big plays. McLaurin, 7 catches, 115 and a touchdown on 8 targets. Cam Sims, 3 catches, 110 yards. He had that big catch towards the end of the game, 50 some odd yards, I think. McKissick, 9 catches, 65 yards on 14 targets. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, and they said this during the broadcast. I mean, I didn't like the broadcasters. I have not liked the broadcasters on pretty much all the Giants games. But I think it was Jonathan Vilma, and he was saying that he's played Alex Smith a bunch of times, and Alex Smith will just take what you give him. So he does. You thought like Eli towards the end of his career was like Captain Checkdown, Donnie Dump-Off. Alex Smith is that times 2. Just trying to get yardage where he can, as opposed to forcing it down the field or whatnot. And you saw what happened when he tried to go down throwing digs or whatever, over the middle of the field, down the field to the legs of McLaurin. He got picked off or tipped or whatever. So Chase Young did get a sack. Montez Sweat, no sacks, only 1 assist. Ryan Kerrigan, half a sack with Jonathan Allen. Tim Settle, who was Jonathan Allen's replacement or backup, got a sack. So I don't know. I feel like even though there were 5 sacks, it's kind of crazy to say that we kept them in check, but it did feel that way when you're watching the game.